Good evening, Nambour. Thank you all so much for coming out tonight. It's raining, it's not a nice night to be out talking about politics, but it is so lovely to see so many faces. I know some of you, I don't know many of you, so the good thing is I've got a bit of a new audience for some of my old stories that I've been dragging out over the last couple of weeks. I am running for the seat of Fairfax as a community independent. I'll talk a bit more about that later, but I'll just give you a quick overview of who I am as a person and why I am standing here today. So my love affair with our democracy began way back when I was a child. I grew up in southeast Queensland and I've lived here. I was born in Brisbane. I've lived here my entire life except for a couple of years when I was travelling in my 20s, and I've lived in Fairfax for 20 years. We're living in Buderim now, but we've lived in Rosemount and in Maroochydore during that time. I am a small business owner with my husband, Jared. We have a small air conditioning business, and I have had the privilege of working in both the private and the public sector throughout my professional career. What got me started in this and why am I here is a question that I ask myself regularly sometimes, but the answer goes back to two really formative experiences when I was little. So when I was 10, our family moved to Gympie. I went to Gympie Central State School. There were 250 kids there, and it was inter-school sport time. Girls at that time could only play T-ball or netball. That was a problem for me with no hand-eye coordination, and the thought of subjecting myself to absolute social humiliation and having to play those sports led me to find a way to be able to play the sport that I loved most, and that was soccer. So I organised a petition. There were 250 kids at that school and I got 100 signatures. I took that petition into Mr. Habermill's office and I said, "Please sir, can I play soccer?" To his credit, he said yes, and I was allowed to join the boys' team. But at that time, they also asked me to wear a skirt, and it was one of those netball skirts that had the plastic track and the little clip, and I was not impressed with that either, so I organised another petition. And that time I got 120 signatures, and finally I could play soccer wearing shorts. The first term I was the only girl, and it was hard. I had to work hard to prove to those boys I was a worthy team member. The second term, 3 or 4 more girls joined me. And that lesson that I learned from that experience, that when you organise people in a positive way around a good idea, you can create real and tangible change, not only for yourself, but for others, has stayed with me all my life. It has really been the genesis for my interest in politics. I've been a swinging voter all my life, and now I have got to a stage where I have found a political home, and it is with the community independents. So what is a community independent? It's a independent that's governed by 3 values: integrity, equality, and evidence-backed climate action. I focus on community engagement, on really listening to you and what's important to you, taking action, and this electorate at this time in this election has a real opportunity. We have been a safe seat for so long, and it hasn't done us any favours. It looks like whoever's forming Parliament this time will be doing so in a minority. So an independent voice on the crossbench will give Fairfax a real seat at the table. I will work collaboratively, I will negotiate, and I will work across the aisle with anyone in Canberra who has a good idea for this region and for our country, and I'll work across the levels of government as well. We've missed out for a long time in this electorate, and we have an opportunity now to really take things back. My favourite saying is that I guess we've had a sense that the tail has been wagging the dog for a long time in politics. It's time for the dog to start wagging the tail again.